Well, greetings and salutations, everybody, and welcome to Ranelagh Pond just behind me. It's one of the best kept secrets in all of South Dublin. Come on, we bring you in and we show you around and also show you some of the beautiful wildlife and some of the beautiful wildlife photography that I've actually taken in there. These gardens are a lovely breakaway from the hustle and bustle of city life just outside, and it truly goes to show that nature will thrive anywhere. I first discovered these gardens a couple of years ago, and I've been coming up here ever since, maybe 2 or 3 times a week, just either to bring the dog for a walk or just to clear my head and just have a look at a little bit of nature that actually comes up here. On the map there, you'll actually see the grey heron. You'll also see, during the evening times, you'll actually see bats here flying across from one building to the other, just to try and catch some insects on the wing, which is such a beautiful sight to see one evening. It was coming up around 5 o'clock. It was winter time, and that's exactly what we seen, just flying across, about 20 of them. Unfortunately, I didn't get it on camera, but I've been trying to come up ever since just to see if I can see them, and I've never been able to see them again, but I will eventually catch them on camera. I just love coming up to this park. The Ranelagh Gardens were actually originally pleasure gardens, which were developed way back in 1775. They were named after Lord Ranelagh, who had similar gardens on the Thames in London. And here's a fun fact for you, totally unrelated to nature that you might not have known. But just before I tell you that fact, upcoming now is a beautiful little moorhen. Now, you mightn't be able to see him. I was watching him when I was filming this, but I don't think he came out on camera too well. So I also inserted a photograph that I've actually taken. There's a little moorhen actually in the bushes there. It's a male moorhen, but that's usually where, just right in the middle there, that's where the female moorhen goes in and actually lays her eggs. She's a little nest in there, because I've seen her go in there a couple of times throughout the year, and that's where babies usually come out. That island is actually where a lot of the ducks and a lot of the moorhens actually lay their eggs and have their young, in the safety and security of that little island. But unfortunately, I could only get, I got the photograph, and there's our first little grey squirrel of the day. There's actually more and more of these, or more and more of the grey squirrels actually coming along. Originally I only ever seen 2, and now there's about 4 or 5 of them, so they must be having babies. Upcoming, I've got some of my favourite photographs that I've ever taken of the grey squirrel. And it was taken right here in the Ranelagh Gardens. And here they are now. Just please tell me down in the comments and tell me what you think of the photographs that I've taken. Literally all the edit that I've done on them is just a little bit of saturation. That's it. I've nothing else done on them. As promised, the fun fact totally unrelated to nature. The first ever hot air balloon ride in Ireland was actually launched right here in Ranelagh Gardens by a man by the name of Richard Crosby, all the way back in 1785. And he flew the hot air balloon from here in the Ranelagh Gardens all the way to Clontarf. Now, upcoming, I've also got another photograph that I've taken, which I thought was absolutely beautiful. A mother and her 2 chicks. Didn't even have my camera that day. That was actually shot on my phone. But yeah, she was sitting on top of the water pump, just there below, or just there below where the camera is. There's a nice shot of the the full length of the pond there. But as we walk up, there's a little moorhen, another little moorhen, and this time it's another male, where he's just standing there just goes to show how light they are, just standing there on a little bit of a twig above the water line. And of course, there's a young seagull, not minding that I'm actually walking beside him. They are a beautiful little bird, moorhens. Black, reds, and they've got really weird feet. Long, green, spindly toes. Here's a couple of photographs that I've actually taken of that particular moorhen. And of course, a mallard duck as well. Now, as we come to an end to our little travels, I've got a couple of more photographs to show you folks, and I hope for those of you who've stuck around, thank you so much for sticking around, and let me know in the comments what you actually think of the photographs that I've taken, will you? Your feedback would be gratefully received, either negative or positive, it doesn't really matter. But there's that poor little grey squirrel. I think he's sick. And he's got a couple of patches on his forehead, and he looks like he's got a couple of growths on his paw. And just there, actually, hold on, I'll just stick in a photograph there. Just always found amazing how pigeons wash themselves. They're just standing there in the little platform. There they are, just having a good old bath, getting rid of all the soot and all the grime off their feathers. Well, folks, if you're enjoying the content, a like to the channel would be fantastic. It'll help me out with the algorithm. And also, if you haven't subscribed already, a subscription would be fantastic. Join us on the journey to 1,000 subscribers. Just another 163 left, and then we'll hit the big 1,000. Well, thank you so much for watching, folks. Stay safe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now. Bye-bye.